Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So everybody gets anxiety. One of the ways that you can learn to tackle your anxiety and to get on top of it is through your outlook. Anxiety can be positive, but you have to figure out the best way to look at your situation at hand. So say, for example, when you have anxiety out in front of you, I have something I don't want to do tomorrow. Say you have a doctor's appointment. I hate going to the doctor. I got a doctor's appointment tomorrow, and that gives me anxiety, thinking about the drive there, what the doctor's going to say, all the various aspects of being involved with the discomfort of the appointment and everything that's going to happen. And I can let that rule me and put me into a state of fear where I can barely function, can't eat, can't sleep, can't pay attention. I'm useless to anybody around me or my own self. And we all know what that's like. Or I can accept the fact that I have a doctor's appointment and use my anxiety behind me. Why are you going to the doctor? Well, it may be something important. Maybe something that needs to be checked that if isn't checked, if it's let to persist, that it will be detrimental to your health in the future. So all of a sudden, the motivation, the anxiety of having a medical problem, of not going to the doctor and not checking it, can be more powerful, can outweigh the anxiety of the appointment. So you can be motivated. I want to go to the doctor. I can't wait to get to the doctor to find out what's wrong with me and either see if it's nothing or get on top of whatever it is and start taking the very first steps towards healing. So you're, all of a sudden, you may still have a level of anxiety, but you've shifted it from in front of you to behind you to what's pushing you instead of what you're going into. You can do this with anything. But anytime you have anxiety, it's good to first sit down and kind of recognize what's going on with you. And your self-talk is everything, and you can counteract the messages that you're being sent. So anxiety could be fear-based, it could be all kinds of negative emotions. And it's really good to be in tune with yourself. So you can say, for example, if you have some sort of negative self-talk going on that is in response to an event or just simply a trigger, you can immediately try to counteract that with its opposite message. And I have a whole nother video about this, so I'm not going to go into the process of that. But that counteraction, that builds a whole new neurological pathway, circuitry pathway. Imagine if your brain is like a big electrical circuit, and there's little pathways going everywhere from a main source. Sometimes we build up these pathways of anxiety, of fear, of negativity through negative self-talk that aren't healthy, and they build up really strong, and that becomes our go-to, our default position of where that current always goes, because that's its strongest path, and it's always looking for the current is always looking for the strongest path, the easiest route, the quickest route. But if we put a block on that, and the block is the opposite affirmation, to take something from negative to positive, and to start talking to yourself, to use that self-talk to build a new pathway, and let that negative one die off, and the positive path circuitry becomes the default. That becomes where the current goes. All of a sudden is to the positive pathway, and that's how really a good idea of how you should be using your self-talk is to really be healing yourself and to be creating a new mindset. You're reprogramming yourself. So put your anxiety behind you. You may never get rid of anxiety. It's a natural human emotion. Without it, you may touch a hot stove or walk off a cliff or something. I mean, as natural creatures, we can't deny the emotions that we have. We become robots. But you don't have to let them hinder your performance, your productivity, your progression. You don't have to let them be a block. You can let them fuel you to drive to that's the coal that you're shoveling into your engine is, I don't want to, have this happen, so I'm going to take these steps. I work out a lot and try to stay in good physical shape. Not because I'm afraid or have anxiety of a fear of what society will think or other people think if I had the old body, which was a much worse body, but what drives me is the anxiety of getting sick. I was deteriorating as a person. I was getting sick. I was unhealthy. My diet, lack of exercise, everything was terrible. I wasn't doing anything right. And I was paying the cost. And I use that. And now that I've gotten healthier with the mind, body, and soul lifestyle that I promote in most of my videos, I've got on top of it, and I've got to a place where now I feel proud of who I am. And I use the anxiety, the fear of going backwards, the fear of what happens if I don't cultivate this temple. Like you're a plant. If I don't water the plant, I don't add fertilizer, if I just do nothing, I don't even have the sense to put it in the sunlight, I just do nothing. I do all the wrong things. What do you expect is going to happen? So I use that motivation of what I used to be, of what could be. I have a choice every day. I could go back to the old me. But I use that anxiety of not wanting to be sick, not wanting to be unhealthy, to propel me forward. And I'm up at the gym. I'm down on the beach, getting my cardio. And I do that 6 days a week, not because I love it, but because I have to. It's a lifestyle. And you can look at a lot of different things, aspects of your life this way, and start identifying things in your life that you are holding anxiety about. You may have anxiety attacks. I've gone through most of my life with them, and I've finally conquered that sort of trigger where I don't get triggered with that. And there's a lot that goes into how do you do that. It's not just a magic trick, but it comes from having a positive mindset. The more loving and caring that you are with yourself, and the positive mindset that you have with your self-talk, and to be counteracting the negativity with positivity, be shutting down those neurological circuitry pathways that have built up over time, those negative routes, and to allow the positive routes to grow. That gives you the mental fortitude and the mental strength in order to move forward into any situation, and you become less triggered as you go through your day or your week, your life in general. Even if the same, what you used to call bad things happen, they don't affect you in the same way. People might look around and realize, wow, you certainly have changed. What have you been doing? It's all in here. It's all how you look at things. It's all how you control your mind. You control your self-talk. You're the driver. You're the master of that world. So these are all just tips on how to get through your day without putting that gun in your mouth. Anybody with PTSD knows what I'm talking about. It can be hard. If you've gone through heavy trauma, if you've gone through any kind of heavy addiction, if you've gone through any kind of bullshit like that in your life, you're going to be dealing with all kinds of stuff each day in order to help you get through. And you may have panic attacks, you may have anxiety attacks, you may have all kinds of fear built up. You not even realize it. So this is the way you fix it. This is how you get on top of that kind of thing. You got to start somewhere. Be kind to yourself. Watch that self-talk. Counteract the negativity with positivity, positive mental attitude. Like that Bad Brain song, I got my PMA. And put your anxiety behind you and use it to motivate you, instead of allowing it to hinder you. This is warrior mentality. Be strong. Thanks for watching.